Hey there, this is almost a complete set of the Taichung, Taiwan Spyderco knives with the with this handle material, the laminated carbon fiber over G10. The light is hitting these a little differently, so they may look a little different, but they're all the same thing. It's got a thin layer of carbon fiber over regular handle scale of G10. And what's missing is one knife, and I happen to have a new box in from Chicago Cutlery. I'm going to open this up today with I'll open it with the Watu. I believe this completes the set. What we've got here is the Bradley, Spyderco Bradley 2, carbon fiber and M4. Let's try that again, huh? Nope. There we go. These are not all identical. Some of them are flippers. Some of them are not flippers. Some of them have Spyderco's compression lock. In fact, almost all of them, except for the Bradley, have the compression lock. Although it's implemented different ways. The Smock has a button that actuates the compression lock, even though it's still internally doing the same thing. The Bradley is a liner lock, which makes it different from the rest, and it's M4 blade steel, which is different from the rest. Most of these are CPM S30V. These 5 are CPM S30V, and then we've got 20 CV for the Watu and M4 for the Bradley. M4, out of all of those steels, M4 is the one that is not stain resistant. Let's see, it looks like I poked myself at some point. Not on camera, but a minute ago. This will probably develop a patina. Now there is another version of the Bradley, the Bradley 2, which is this one right here, which was a Blade HQ exclusive. This too is a bit of an oddball, because with Blade HQ, their exclusives are usually in M4 with a JG10 handle scale. But because the Bradley is normally offered in M4, they had to do something different for the dealer exclusive, and they made this one in CPM crew wear. All right. Which is also not stainless, but it is more resistant to stains than M4. We're more likely to see some rust develop on the M4 blade than we are on this crew wear blade. Let's just briefly review the knives in this set. So we've got the Canis. I've got a video on the Canis that just went up a few days ago. All of these knives have either a signature or a maker's mark on the clip side of the blade. This has a very large swedge, or you could call this a compound grind, that creates a pass-through area that is a little bit more efficient for slicing, for push cuts, than the rest of the blade, but it maintains a relatively thick tip, which gives it unusual strength in the tip for a Wharncliffe. It's a pretty cool knife. The Smock is probably the most popular of this series. It is a flipper, one of Spyderco's few flippers. Has sort of a reverse tanto edge. Reminds me a little bit of the Benchmade 940 in terms of the blade shape. It's not the same, of course, but it's let's look at that 940. A reverse tanto with a little bit of belly. Similar blade length, you know, a little higher than saber height grind. So maybe you can see where I have that feeling. This has a finger choil. Well, not exactly. It has a choil. It's not really a great place to put your finger. I mean, you can put your finger there, but you got to be careful because you bite your finger on the back of that blade pretty easily. There's the maker's mark. Okay. The Sliverax, another flipper. This one's on ball bearings. Really interesting ergonomic grip. Kind of presents the blade a little bit of a downward angle. Well, not quite, but yeah. Full flat grind on this guy, as opposed to the hollow grind on the Smock. No choil. Okay. This has got a wire pocket clip, whereas most of these have Benchmade's sort of spoon-shaped pocket clip. The Amalgam, what have I got on here? Oh, that's a piece of the packing material from the box that I just opened. The Amalgam is also a flipper. Full flat grind. This is the big knife in this set. The 3.5-inch blade. Okay, compression lock. The Ikuchi. This one has a compression lock, but it's a real small area that you can get your finger into to actuate that lock. And then it's got a flipper that's almost like the wheel on a lighter. This is a Persian profile. It's got an upswept tip. Has a very small spidey hole that isn't actually functional for opening and closing the blade because it's completely recessed. The blade is entirely recessed within the handle when this thing's closed. This is sort of an executive knife. Okay, competitive with things like the Boker Kwaiken or the CRKT CEO. The Watu, which is an African inspired design. Wire pocket clip on this one, deep carry. A lot of these are not really deep carry, this one is. 20 CV blade steel, flat grind, very thin, very slicey, very pokey. Really actually a much better EDC than I think a lot of people realize. This knife is quite efficient as a cutter, and doesn't take up a lot of real estate in the pocket. Strong lockup, Comfortable ergonomics. No jimping. Okay. And that brings us to the Bradley, which is the only liner lock in this batch. The handles are a little bit proud of the scales, right? So we get this sort of outline of steel on the handles. Hollow grind here, I believe. Yeah, hollow grind. Drop point. Black pocket clip instead of shiny silver. Not deep carry. Somebody's trying to call me. Let me turn that off. Okay. Yeah. M4 blade steel. So there we have it. That's the entire set of the G10 and carbon fiber laminate Spyderco knives from Taichung, Taiwan. All right, thanks. Subscribe to my channel, you'll see a lot more knives. Bye-bye.